Okay, so leaving Crossways, Littlebrook and the New and Old Britons pits behind, we've walked down a little lane. Now ahead of us now, this is Paulton Engine Colliery. Now this sat right next door to the brass and iron foundry works at Paulton. Now as you can see, straight ahead there, the buildings there are the colliery. It was sited beside the foundry. This pit is supposed to have been the earliest pit in the area. It is said that it is said to have had the first Newcomen pumping engine in Somerset. It was erected here in about 1750, but some doubt this claim. The pit is certainly one of two in the Paulton area in 1791 and was worked by fire engines and possibly took its name from that fact. Now I'm not quite sure what the fire engines were. Obviously for pumping water they were just fire engines that they pinched, I don't know, but this is quite interesting. I think this is one of the pumping engines were. So yeah, on the 24th of March 1830, a serious accident happened at the colliery when the rope broke and 4 men and a boy were killed when they fell back down the shaft. The last known working date of the colliery is November 1869, and by 1873 it was only used to pump water out from the Timsbury collieries. So yeah, that's engine colliery. Now I'm wondering, there's a concrete base here, could that be a cap? I don't know, or has that just been put in there for a shed or something? But that's the colliery. Could be. So yeah, that's heading back round to where we stood earlier. There's plenty, see, this is what I like around here, plenty of information boards. Okay, this was established by 1810 by Joseph Hill, Thomas Randall and William Rawlins. By the 7th of February 1839 the foundry was occupied by William Evans and the Paulton Coal Company. It was still at work in 1869 and probably at least until 1889. It may still have been working in 1895. Paulton Foundry was the only major foundry in the coalfield and played an important part in the growth of the Somerset mining industry. Winding, pumping engines were built there, together with all other items needed for coal mining. One of the foundry's winding engines is now preserved for the Bristol City Museum. It is rumoured that Evans perfected the process for making non-rusting iron, which involved pouring oil into a mould as the molten metal solidified. Soon after the foundry closed in Paulton, it relocated to a site beside Lower Rivlington Colliery. After the 1940s, the foundry moved again to Froome Hill, Radstock, where it is still at work today. So we're just walking around the back of the southern side of the Paulton Engine Colliery and the foundry. I'm going to try and get into where the tramway came down, but yeah, there's a nice little mound there. I wonder what that was, whether it was anything to do with the foundry or colliery, or whether it's been put on it afterwards. As you can see there, just through the trees there is the old foundry buildings. Got a wee on everything, ain't you, Odie? Right, so there's the foundry, just there. It's obviously been restored into a house. That's really nice, actually. Now the tramway came from up there, possibly where that hedge line is, all the way down into the ironworks, and there was a tramway that came from the colliery into the ironworks and then joined the tramway that went down to the Somerset Coal Canal. So basically the whole area was a mass of tramways. Now as you can see, I heard like most of the collieries shut down in about the 1860s. Now was this because of the decline of the coal canal? I think a lot of the pits were running out of coal. They'd kind of, and it was getting expensive to get it out. The problem with the Radstock coalfields is they're very fractured. It's hard to get to the seams. So yeah, so we'll walk down towards the Somerset Coal Canal. So this is roughly, I believe, where the tramway came from, up in that direction there. And that's roughly where we were, where the Somerset Inn was, and down along here. Apparently you can find concrete sleepers in the ground where the rail, it was like an L-shaped rail. I haven't found any yet, but that's the Foundry. So let's walk along here towards the Somersetshire Coal Canal. But so this is Paulton Sewage Works. This was the site of, I think there was 2 collieries there, possibly 3. I think this is going to be a place where we just look on a map. There's going to be nothing left. So there was supposed to be some caps in there, but you obviously you're not allowed in. But yeah, so let's have a look. I've got some information. So this is there you go, Wessex Water. So this is the sewage works. Now, Gossard Pit, which we just said was otherwise known as Gooseward Sham Pit, or even Paulton Lower Engine, is reputed to have been sunk by 2 colliers in 1708. Today it's just the site of the sewage works, what we can see in front of us. So yeah, there was a pit there, and that would have been the tramway that took the coal from here down to the Somerset Coal Canal. Now there's also mentioned around here is a Paulton bottom colliery. Now I think this is the one we've just mentioned. I think that is Gossard Pit. Not sure, but that's looking up towards Paulton Engine batch. It was probably used by this one as well, I should think. But there's also mentioned a brewer's pit owned by Mr. Brewer, ironically, in 1700. The pit used an 8-foot diameter water wheel for pumping, drawing water from a depth of 102 feet. The location of this pit is unknown. So there was a brewer's pit round here, but the location is unknown. If anyone does know, if anyone has found any information out about that pit, yeah, leave in the comments, and then we'll try and find out where it was. So here we are at Paulton Halt station. Now this station was on the Camerton branch. That was a road over rail bridge, obviously now been underfilled. They've left a little tunnel in here. There's had to let little animals run through. No idea. But and you can see right through. See the light at the end of the tunnel? But yeah, so this would have when the railway line came out. You've got this is where the platform edge was, just there. Little culvert here. There's not a lot left of it. You can see the platform edge a bit different down here. But yes, that's looking back towards where we were, Somerset Coal Canal, the basin. So the railway line would have come along here. We're walking along the track bed now, and there's a nice old picture actually with some old gentlemen stood on the platform edge. I'll try and bring that up and try and do a photo where we mix it in with what's left to modern day. I'll try and get Odie, the dog, to stand where these people were. But yeah, I don't know what this was, because it was a single line. I don't know what this was here. It's like, was it a coal bunk? It wouldn't have been. I can't think it being a signal box, because there's no junctions along here. May have been, but it seems a bit small to be a signal box base. Water tower, maybe. But yeah, so that's that's Paulton Halt station. So that way's towards Hallertrow. where we've been before, and that's off towards Camerton, all the collieries along there, Camerton, Limpley Stoke. So it terminally went in Limpley Stoke, also known as the Great Western Mineral Line, I think. But yeah, right, this is the opposite side of the bridge from Paulton Halt station. That's the, what do you call it, pipe thing we've looked through. So yeah, there's not, that's the river bridge. Yeah, there's nothing of the road over there. It was obviously knocked down and filled in. And you don't have to maintain it then, do you? But yeah, still some of the bridge work left, bridge parapet. So it would have come in. Can't get in there. I think it would have come along there and then straight through there. Okay, that's the end of this video. We've finished obviously the Paulton area now. We're going to be moving on and looking at Greyfields pit, Pensford, Clutton, and loads of other little pits. So we'll be working our way back to Hallitray and then working up towards Bristol. But yeah, this is just like a rough overview of where the pits were. You can't, some of these around Paulton, because they shut in the late 1800s, you can't find any sign of them. You may find the odd building, the odd batch, but that's about it. But yeah, like and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.